Today, derive. To deride someone or something is to subject them to usually harsh and bitter insult or criticisms. It's because you guys can't understand that y'all be some lame people with yo LeBron versus MJ takes all the damn time. Deriding. Am I right, Jay? Or am I right, Jay?
If you say MJ the GOAT, then you're right. If you say LeBron the GOAT, then you're retarded. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
This is why I can't take you anywhere, dog.
You never have. What you mean?
You're honestly the best person that I've ever had in this podcast ever, man. I love you so much. It's good to have you back with. Welcome back to Chop and Open Peace God. I'm Prescott Kelly. Today is Monday, June 3rd, right? Yeah, June 3rd.
In
Uh,
Michigan, it's Tuesday, but yeah, for you, it's Monday.
well, it's man, don't be doing that. Oh, that's right for you. Oh, that's right, because you're all no. In Michigan, it's still Central Time, right? It's 11.
No, it's 12:11 right now.
Really? Oh, I didn't realize you guys were on the East Coast time. I thought you guys were on the Central Time.
Nope.
This man said nope and was very aggressive about that, by the way.
Man, I'm just not good at time. Like, literally, my phone is at military time, not because I'm like trying to be cool. I just forget AM and PM all the time.
No, and that's a fair assessment. And the thing that I always have to worry about working in Alaska, and like not so much anymore because um where I work at a car dealership, that's my time. But when I used to work at a credit union, they would say, well, we have to be accountable for the time difference in Arizona because Arizona does not recognize daylight savings time. And that is the worst.
Man, I wish I lived in a state that didn't have daylight saving time. Like,
Like
whenever they
Indiana.
take, no, they don't season their food. No,
We had that argument earlier. They don't season their food and they don't season their time.
they, no, they, everything closed at 5 o'clock. Like, I mean, only place open is church. And I mean, I love church, but sometimes I need some stuff for the next work day.
So, sometimes I love church. Sometimes I love church's chicken.
I've never had church's chicken.
Wait, is church's chicken okay? So is church's chicken even any good?
I don't know. I've never been.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I like Bojangles though. That dirty rice do something.
Yo, people be hating on rice all the time. Like, well, rice is very it's a
I
very underwhelming thing. I'm like, it can be great. It can also be underwhelming, but it depends on what you're putting it with.
I love like if you just trying to eat white rice straight up, then yeah, it's gonna be disgusting, idiot. But like, if you just ground some turkey up, season it good, throw some rice and some cheese in it, it's a banger every time. Never fails.
Yo, the fact that you said if you like white rice on your own, you're an idiot. My son loves white rice, and I wanted to fight you in the streets, but I understand it because God, it's not good by its own.
It's not like
I want to defend his honor, I really do, but it's not good on its own, man.
no. You got to throw some seasoned turkey in there, some cheese, and then you okay. But like,
Like just something, man. But he loves
and some
white rice,
Louisiana hot sauce.
and oh boy, what kind of Louisiana hot sauce are you talking about? Because there's a brand which I think is not good.
It's the one that got like the red top and be yellow and got blue and red on it.
Right. So you don't even know the name and you know it's not good. And that's the one thing I'm talking about.
No, that's
It's
the one
not
that I
good.
use.
No, but you was trying to say hot sauce and rice. And I love hot sauce and everything, man, but it's
Hot
not
sauce
good.
and rice is like it's like chocolate and ice cream. It just go together.
So chocolate and ice cream, are you talking about like regular chocolate syrup or the hard shell
I'm
chocolate?
talking about just regular soft serve chocolate ice cream.
Man, I thought you and I were friends, man.
I mean, only on Tuesdays.
It is Monday, so that's fair.
It's Tuesday for me. That's why we only connect on
It is.
half of the things
Yeah,
we
I
saying.
keep forgetting because you're 4 hours ahead of me. That's some bullshit. Anyway, so you and I need to
Wait,
talk
I'm in the
about.
future.
You are in the future. And
That's
what we
what.
need to talk about is the past because what you are engulfed in Joe Gibbs as a better head coach than Bill Belichick. You're embedded in the past. And for me, as a Bills fan who doesn't have any past, except for all being bad, ooh, bro, where you why you landing there?
I mean, why does Bill Belichick got a losing record without Tom Brady? I mean,
I'm
he sounds like a system coach to me.
the silence from me is letting you speak. It does not mean that I am disagreeing with you.
It just sounds like he a system coach if that's what we talking about. Like, and I know Joe Gibbs won over. He won more than double the games he lost. He's 124 and 60. 60 times two, that's 120. So he's 4 games above double. I'm not good at math, but follow with me now.
Yo, that was the best thing ever. I'm not good at math, but and that is such a sports thing to say is like I'm not good at this, but I know this.
Like, I know that Joe Gibbs the only coach to ever win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. I know that. Like, I know
We'll see.
Andy Reid didn't win nothing without Mahomes. I know that. So he can't be the
We'll see.
GOAT.
And when and this is why I wanted to let this thing kind of marinate because I knew that like that's the cheat code. I already knew where you were coming in with this on that all, but you ain't wrong.
Like, every great
You ain't
coach,
wrong, bro.
every great coach has the quarterback they wanted with, like Bill Walsh. He up there, but he had Joe Montana and Steve Young. Like,
Right.
but like,
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing is like they
nobody
all had
considers
somebody.
Theismann, nobody considers Rippon or Doug Williams to be Hall of Famers. Like, no
Yo.
disrespect to any of those three, but none of those are considered Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
We'll see. To the only I don't want to say it's a caveat necessarily, but you and I don't want to speak for you, but I think that we understand that there's more to sports than just, hey, you get the best quarterback, blah, blah, because if you did, you'd have X amount of championships or you're the best coach, and so on and so forth. And it's also like, is Andy Reid undervalued because
He
he
won games
had
with Kevin
one, you know?
Kolb, so
I'm sorry?
he won games with Kevin Kolb. So I mean, he knows something.
The Bills won games with Kevin Kolb.
The Bills won games with anybody.
I mean they've won games. They weren't the Lions. They weren't 0-16 twice
Hey, leave
or
Detroit out of
once.
this. Jared Goff better than Josh Allen anyway. So no, I don't believe that. But
Look, you know what? You're right. Jared Goff is better than Josh Allen. I will fight everybody in the streets. Everybody thinks that I hate Josh Allen. I don't, but I'm just not a fucking simp. Oh,
I used to think
I
that you
was
were just
supposed to
like a
push the button
hater.
on that. I was
I used to
supposed to
think
push
you
the
were just
button
a
on
hater
that.
of your own team, but like over the last like few years of knowing you, every
I'm
time you say something, 6 months later it comes true, and I'm just like, what the hell? He ain't a hater.
Well,
He's just
that's the
real.
whole thing. That's the whole thing. Is everyone says I'm a bad Bills fan. I'm like, I'm not a bad Bills fan. I'm just
I just
realistic.
know how to pay attention.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is like, so when it comes to Detroit, and like I know that you're not a Lions fan, but you're in
I do
Michigan,
like the
and
Lions though.
and you and I talked about this off air, man. If the Bills ever do, and they won't in my lifetime, but if they do, If they do win the Super Bowl, I'm going to be a Lions and Jaguars fan until they win a Super Bowl because I've done my work. I put in my time, man.
Man, I'm never seeing these fools win a Super Bowl, so I don't even know what I'm doing.
No, and yeah, dude, if your logo is an animal, good luck.
Do we even have a
Like just
logo
look,
anymore?
huh?
Like, do we even have a logo anymore, or are we just the Western Credit Union still? Like,
Well,
I'm so sick of this team.
do you have a logo anymore? You need to be more specific.
Like, I don't even know what team we on. Like, we just be changing it.
Oh, you mean with Washington?
Yeah,
That's
I
that's,
can't
that's a good
stand
point.
Washington.
And also we got way off point. But let's get back on point. Is you think that Joe Gibbs is a better or a better coach than Bill Belichick? And you've listed some things. I want you to lean really hard into why you think so. Because I'm going to tell you why you might be wrong, and I'm going to tell you why you might be right. But I got my own thing that I'm going to lean into.
It's just, how are you gonna have a losing record with a without your main quarterback? Like, if you're the GOAT coach, the great, I'm not no scrub. I ain't talking about freaking Bob Sala, like, not a bum. I
You
need
whoa, you went to Robert Saleh?
I should have said what's his name from the Jets.
That's his
Uh
name. Yeah, Robert Saleh, the
no,
head
no,
coach
the
of the
offensive
Jets.
coordinator.
Oh, if you're talking about OCs in my division, I don't care about them.
No, what's his face? He used to coach for the Broncos and he was terrible.
Oh, Vic Fangio?
No,
He was
the
the
one
DC though.
with Russell Wilson.
Oh, Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, that bum. Yeah, like I'm not talking about like that. Like you're considered top 5 ever. You should be able to have a winning record without your starting quarterback. If you're going to be top 5 ever, like you need degree of difficulty matters. And we all know if you got one of them top quarterbacks, you got a chance to win. Like Mahomes, he ain't
Right.
had no number 1 receiver in 2 years. He still got 2 rings in 2 years.
Right.
Like like it helps a lot. Granted, KC defense was a lot better this year, but like they're not like world beater all time great defenses. They don't have the skill positions, but Mahomes still out there and he's
Well,
slinging it.
and that's always kind of been my point of emphasis too, is like there isn't any quarterback in the league. We're like, why wouldn't you pay Josh Allen? And if we have enough time going down the timeline of us, you and me talking about Justin Jefferson, my whole thing is why the hell would I pay every quarterback the same money as Patrick Mahomes when I know that Patrick Mahomes is one of one?
Patrick Mahomes is the great eraser. Like if
Exactly,
you put an
exactly.
average, if you just put an average, like put Derek Carr in there, they ain't the same.
No, you're 100% accurate on that.
Like Mahomes makes them look real good, and they're able to skimp on paying other positions because Mahomes is that great. Like I'm not gonna pay Tua $50 million.
Thank you. But the whole thing is like that is what it takes, and that's kind of the issue is that when it comes to
What
quarterbacks, or
happened to
really
like the middle class quarterback? Why can't we have 25, $30 million quarterbacks?
because they're
Like
all
Baker
backup
Mayfield's
now.
contract is perfect, 3 years,
Yeah,
100 million. Like
but yeah, the problem is that $25 million gets you either a number one wide receiver in a really trash organization, or B, it gets you a backup quarterback. That's where you are right now.
yeah, like I just
It's not good, dog. Like I'm over exaggerating because 25 million for a backup quarterback is obviously it's not really
like
it's not logistically
if
perfect.
you could pick if you could hit on quarterbacks in the draft a lot more often, I would be a GM who just drafts one every 5 years because it's like the way the salary cap number is. Like, if you could guarantee on hitting one, and then just building a great team all around them.
Bro, that's what I've been saying for the last 3 years, and everybody tells me that I'm the idiot. Like, it's wild to me. Like, if you my entire thought process is there's one dude like every 10 to 15 years who is the generational dude. And right now it's Mahomes. And that's fine. But stop paying everybody else to keep up with the Joneses when the Joneses aren't jonesing.
Yeah,
Right?
like Dak Prescott, he don't need $55 million.
They paid that mother 75 million American dollars 1 year. I know it was only 1 year, but they paid him $75 million for 1 year. That is bananas, bro.
And for me, like, I want Jordan Love to be good, but like
No, you
after
don't.
1 year,
No, nobody wants
well,
that.
I
you,
hate that,
you want to be good and just shut up the Aaron Rodgers, don't you?
man. No, like my thing is I hate Green Bay, like screw them. But like I want individual athletes to be able to have generational wealth for their families is where I'm coming from for I want people to get paid. But
Sure, I
my
understand that.
thing is after 1 year where Jordan Love looked kind of crappy the first 4 to 6 games, but he finished strong, and now people are like, "Oh, he needs $50 million too." For what?
Nope. No, exactly. Nope.
It's like, and Brock Purdy. I mean, he's probably earned it with his on the field play the most out of anybody, but I don't want to pay him $50 million either.
Well, see, and that's so, and that's always been my point is like there are certain people that, especially because the salary caps only continue to go up, which means that these salaries can only continue to go up, and that's kind of problematic to a degree. But the percentages are largely the same. But Brock Purdy is in the exact same, like what you just said. Like, well, do we pay him or do we not? And it's like, well, he was the last person drafted, period. And
But
Kyle
also,
Shanahan, yeah, and Kyle Shanahan's like, well, I can get that out of anybody. Well, if you
well, I
could,
don't
then
know if he can
you wouldn't have
because
traded
when
up
he
to go
traded
get
3 first-round picks and took Trey Lance,
exactly. If you yeah, exactly. If you thought you could do that, you wouldn't have gone up to go get Lance, like Trey Lance.
like
Whoops.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan, great offensive mind, but he can't make every quarterback win football game. Like Brock Purdy ain't a scrub. He knows what he's doing out there, but it's just $50 million. Like I want to
Yo,
be able to pay other people to get a team around
but
them.
but that's the whole thing, man. They keep that up because they paying Christian McCaffrey $50 billion a year. They're paying Debo Samuel $50 billion a year, and they're about to
Trent
pay
Williams is getting paid a lot of money.
Trent Will. Yeah, and then Brent
Kyle
Ayuk is like,
Juszczyk's
"Yo,
the
what
number one
y'all
paid fullback in the NFL.
doing?"
And then their defense got a lot of dudes getting money. Like
They
I
got
don't know
some
how they have
young,
money still.
yeah, dude. They got some young dudes who are ridiculously good. It's
They're
not
gonna
going to
have to
happen.
trade Debo.
Well, see, this is why I mentioned this earlier. Was like people were making fun of me. I told these people a year and a half ago they're going to have to trade Debo, and said, "Why would you think that?" And I said, "Well, he doesn't want to play running back, but he wants to get paid like a running back and a wide receiver." And now Brandon Ayuk is good because he has Debo to be the distraction, and now he's got McCaffrey. It's like, yo, you why do you mother just how do you not understand the basic economics of I'm really good, I want to get paid?
Yeah, like Justin Jefferson, he's really good. He wasn't gonna take $20 million to be team friendly. He was gonna take all the money that they was gonna offer him.
Exactly. So let me ask you this though. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on Belichick and Gibbs. And I want you to really lay the hammer down on that before we move on. Besides the fact of won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks, what is your also opinion on why he's better than Belichick? I'm willing to listen because I hate Bill Belichick as well.
I'm just saying, like, it's not even necessarily just Belichick. Like, of every coach that's ever lived, they all the great ones had the main quarterback. Like the obviously there was great players around, like Dexter Manley, Darryl Green, like the Smurfs, the Hogs. Like they built great teams. I'm not saying that he had a bunch of scrubs that were replacement guys from Walmart and he won Super Bowls. That's not what happened.
No, no, for
But
sure.
when you see that 95% of these Super Bowls are won by good coach, good quarterback, and it's usually if it's the same team winning them, it's usually the same coach and the same quarterback. And then you see this one anomaly, this one blip in NFL history of this guy who's won. I think he's at like 68.3% winning percentage of all time, and he's had 3 different main quarterbacks that he won Super Bowls with, and nobody else has done that. Like, and none of those quarterbacks are considered Hall of Fame talents. None of them. Like
So
with Bill
you're
Walsh, he's got Joe Montana and Steve Young. They're both in the Hall of Fame though. Joe Gibbs did it
yes.
with an extra quarterback, and none of them were as talented. Like in those 49ers teams, they had good players all around too. They had Jerry Rice, they had Ronnie Lott, they had a lot of really good players there too.
Senior Craig.
Yeah. Like they just
Dude, you I love you so much because you are such the new, not even the new fan. You're such a fan of who you love. And I try to degrade every time that somebody tells me, "Hey, Buffalo's gonna be okay." I'm like, "No, you listen here, mother. They're trash." And I always beat them down. And
oh
you're
no,
like,
we
"No,
only win in
no."
3 games this year, but like for me, a successful season for these fools this year is going to be Jaden Daniels got through the year and didn't miss any games. Like to me, that good year. Like Jaden Daniels didn't get freaking crushed behind our horrible offensive line.
Well, so the thing that I always try to tell people is like there needs to be a little bit of um you have to take a step back, right? With the Bills, because I've been a Bills fan since I was 5 years old. I'm 40 now. I've been a Bills fan for 35 years, and they've been bad
That's
for
a
a
handful.
long, long, long time. And people tell me, "Hey, they're gonna be good now. They got Stephon Diggs. Hey, you guys made it to an AFC Championship game. You guys can only go to the Super Bowl." I'm like, "Yeah,
I
we might still
mean,
be bad."
if you had a defense that could hold somebody for 13 seconds, you could. But
But see, okay, so one, that's a very funny point, but it's also the fact of that people telling me that they and this is why I got so much. And you may know this dude, and I'm not going to put him out there by name because I don't believe in doing that. But I had somebody tell me, "How do you have a great run game but don't use it? And how do you have a great defense but it's not good?" And I'm like, "Well, who you're playing matters, right? That
well, yeah,
matters,
if you're
right?"
playing Mahomes, that's a different. It's not like you were playing Blake Bortles out there.
Right. And Blake Bortles, like, okay, so that wasn't the example that I used, but that's an exact perfect replication of what I'm saying though, is like Jaguars fans saying, we can't lose Blake Bortles because he got us to an AFC championship. No, you got there because your run game was dope and your defense was generational, and you hid him from the Patriots and y'all lost because of him. Am
I
I
mean, they
wrong?
had a 10-point lead going into the fourth, and then they started letting him throw, and that's when it all went downhill.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's kind of where I'm going with that. But whew, okay, you got me all worked up. Man, I try not to get worked up about the type of things, but you got me worked up. Um,
You want to talk the JJ contract if you would have signed him to it?
oh, I love that. Moving on. No.
Man, I was talking about it with somebody earlier. I'm like, isn't the point of football protect your quarterback and get theirs? If I'm spending $35 million, I need a Nick Bosa. Like, I need a pass rusher. I need a left tackle. Like,
No, it was. But see, this is the whole thing. When I talk about it, apparently it's ridiculous talk. Because I've been saying this for years. Like I've had LaShawn on the show, I've had CR on the show, I've had you now multiple times, and I tell people, I'm not paying $30+ million a year for a wide receiver. There's zero reason for me to do that because it is a position where it's not the
it's
running back
dependent on
position.
two other main things. Like, if the offensive line can't block, the quarterback ain't going to get you the ball. And if the quarterback is playing like Blake Bortles, he ain't going to get you the ball no way. Like,
Right. Well, it's like when the Steelers drafted Najee Harris, and like that's a terrible pick. I'm like, it'd be a terrible pick if you guys had the offensive line that you had, but if you had a better O line, it when
yeah,
people are bad, yeah, exactly. Like you know where I'm going. If
yeah,
you're
like
good,
if if Najee Harris could have ran behind the same offensive line Ezekiel Elliott ran behind, he would be looked at completely differently than he is now.
exactly 100
Like that
100%, bro.
that Zeke pick looked amazing until that offensive line got old, hurt, and retired.
Yeah, and Zach Martin just retired.
Yeah, I mean Travis Frederick was who I was thinking of retiring.
No, and like he's been awesome too. But yeah, like it always comes down to that. And positionally, yes, I understand the entire back and forth of no, you shouldn't draft a wide receiver that early or a running back that early. But it really depends on what your the dynamic of what your team is. Because man, if you got to draft like with the Rams, right? They traded Goff, got Stafford, and they won a Super Bowl like that exact same year. And some people would say, "Well, you set yourself back." So in that predicament, let me ask you that. I guess now that we're doing things off the cuff, would you rather have traded a quarterback that most people didn't think were good, but some thought were adequate, win a Super Bowl and then be irrelevant for 10 years? Or would you rather keep your core together and maybe you're good and maybe you don't? Like what's kind of
Wait,
your theory as a
you mean to
fan?
tell me I get to win a Super Bowl and I'm only bad for 10 years after that? Sign me up.
Bro, I'm a Bills fan, bro. We got no like we got championships, so we ain't got Super Bowls, and I'd be like,
Like,
yo,
I want to see us
let me
win a Super
ride
Bowl.
out.
Like, I don't care if we Eli Manning it. We don't make the playoffs 11 out of 15 years, but the two times we did make it, we won that thing. Like, we
So
can be one win team every other year, but just give me a couple Super Bowls and we okay.
so let me ask you this because I love that you brought up Eli Manning because now that we're doing this off the cuff, I love that you did this, man. You as a Washington fan, like you've experienced having a few rings under your belt.
I mean, I
But we
wasn't alive, but
all
yeah.
that okay, that's fair. Um, but
I've seen the
nobody
Nationals and the Capitals win, so yeah, I got you.
well, I mean, as far as like football is concerned, like
Well, yeah,
you
yeah, I
haven't
got you.
really, yeah. But so folks are trying to tell me like Eli is still a top flight quarterback because he's got two rings, and I'm like, you know that
When was he top
you
five when he played?
well see, and for me, I'm like that motherfucker was 500 for his career, has the exact same
Look,
INTs as TDs,
his
and he
last
only
year, he
beat
was 2 games under 500. He got lucky that he won 2 games somehow with those bum Giants to get to 500.
so, but he gets all the love because of one thing, and you know why?
His last name Manning.
No, well, there. I mean that's part of it, but it's mostly because he's 2-0 in the Super Bowl and
He's
2-0
2-0 against
against
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady, and that's why it was like, well, Tom. I saw some earlier where like, who would you get rid of? There was four quarterbacks. It was Eli, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, and I forget the other one, but that's three of the four. Like, who would you get? Oh, Philip Rivers. That's what it was. And like, who would you get rid of?
That's a
And
good
so it was,
list.
huh?
That's a good little mix up a list.
Yeah, and I thought it was too, but like, I'd easily get rid of blank, blank, and blank. I'm like, bro,
I
Eli
mean,
Manning
are
is
we
the
talking
worst.
like what game is it? If it's week 10 of the regular season versus the Super Bowl, like my answer's going to change.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But like, who would you rather have? I'm like, yo, just because Eli was good 2 years of his entire career, you are just saying it's gonna be Eli? No, dude, come on. We
Like
ain't
if you're
doing that.
like if you want to go week 10, then shoot, give me Cam. But if you want to tell Super Bowl, give me Eli. Like
Well, it depends on who he's playing, right?
I mean, I
That's
don't
what we
think
doing. That's
so.
what we do. Look, if he's playing the Bills, I'll take James Allen.
I'm
But
just saying he beat the undefeated Patriots. He don't care who he play in the Super Bowl. He going to win.
that's the whole point. This whole thing is ridiculous. All right. So
Like, but if it's week 10 versus the same team, he gonna throw 3 interceptions and lose me my
yo,
fantasy league that week.
bro, that's exactly right. Like he could be playing, like
Exact
the
same team.
like yeah, he could be playing the Panthers week 10. And you're like, he's my flex, so I got him.
Yeah, like it's just Eli was just well. What had happened was Peyton got all the regular season, and then Eli got all the postseason. If they could just put them together, they
You
might have beat Tom Brady. But
you you said what had happened was
that's really what happened.
oh my goodness. All right, man. I need to get you on your real opinion on this Justin Jefferson contract because I do have talking points for tomorrow.
I didn't even
But
want to pay like Amon-Ra St. Brown the wide
yo,
receiver money. I don't want to pay any of these wide receivers that money. None of them. Because with the draft now, look at how many wide receivers come out and just instantly, boom, good. Like college is producing wide receivers at an unprecedented rate right now, to where I don't feel like why am I paying for a wide receiver when there's going to be 7 of them in the draft that can get me 700 yards or more?
right, and that's always kind of been my perspective, and obviously because I don't think like most of the other people in the world that it's like, well, you can't not pay him. I'm like, yeah, I absolutely don't have to pay him because I'm not denying the fact that Justin Jefferson is awesome because he is.
I mean, he was the best receiver in the league. That don't mean I got to pay him $35 million. I can trade him
They
just like they traded Tyreek Hill for a lot of
right,
picks, and that helped them win Super
right.
Bowls. Like,
That exactly, and that is my whole point is like, oh, well, you trade Tyreek Hill. You automatically booty juice. You automatically cheeks,
they
and
haven't
they
lost a
won a
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl.
since.
Like it's everything is circumstantial, but like I know that talent wise, Justin Jefferson is awesome, but I'm not paying him $35 million a year. Ain't no way in hell.
Man, look, I'm a Michigan fan, but like, let's be real. He got JJ McCarthy throwing him the ball. What is the point of having a Jettas on the outside if you're gonna have JJ McCarthy throwing him the damn ball?
I love that you said that because that was part of the reason why everybody said you need to pay him because, well, who does JJ have to throw to then? Well, you thought Addison was awesome,
He ain't gonna be awesome when he got double coverage and JJ ain't
right?
there to distract.
But see, so you're obviously not a Minnesota fan, but looking
Nah, I
at it
hope they
through
lose every game.
I hope everyone. I don't hope that they all die, but I hope that they all die statistically.
Yeah, just let me know before the season so I can get my fantasy team right though.
yo. So, God damn you! You had me all messed up now, man. I had a real question for you. Um, so what? All right, so would you have traded Justin Jefferson in this offseason? Does it
Okay,
would that
so what the I've saw some reported offers from the Bengals that it would have been T. Higgins and 2 first rounders. If I was the Vikings, I would have been so
oh
happy
I
to
would have
accept that deal.
snatched that right
Like
away.
I would not even hesitate. You mean to tell me I can pay T. Higgins $25 million and get 2 first round picks? Bye.
So for me, I always have this kind of trepidation of what is reported because anybody can say anything at all right now. But if
Even
it
if you're
was
just giving me the 2 first round picks, like
well, I would to me
well,
personally,
no,
I
that
wouldn't
I would need a couple more picks,
right. Well, like,
but two
but
first round picks can change your franchise if you're not stupid.
right. So for me, like, and this is where like I'm going back and forth, and I say like so like with Cincinnati, they are in a position where it's like the AFC is completely stacked.
I mean, if
It's
they had JJ and Chase, that would be with Burrow. That would be.
pretty
I mean,
dumb. But
too
you
bad
also
Burrow's gonna be sacked, but whatever.
right, but you also think of y'all made it to a Super Bowl 2-3 years ago and only had Jamar, and we were laughing at Jamar because he was dropping passes in.
I remember that was so funny. Like he was dropping all
It's
them
so
passes in
dumb, man.
preseason. And then his first game, he had like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was
Yo,
just like,
yeah, he had like 300 yards and like 45 touchdowns and 63 receptions. It was stupid.
like he just like he was instantly like a top 3 wide receiver in the league. After everybody's like, he can't even catch a
Yeah,
football.
the moment that he wasn't in preseason anymore, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he's pretty good at football." Weird.
Well, I mean, I mean, either pick wouldn't have been wrong, but I thought that they should have took Panay Sewell. But I mean, obviously it worked out for him. Like I'm not, it was a good pick, but I
No,
thought that they
and
should took Panay Sewell.
no, and for okay, so like I understand if there's any pushback on one way or another, I understand it because I'm with you. I would have
Both are
preferred.
all pro talents that are great picks.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is, for me, because this is how I look at football, is you can get those statistical values at wide receiver just about damn near anywhere if they have enough targets. And that's the whole reason why I'm
Mm-hmm.
not paying Justin Jefferson $40 million a year when Justin Addison or Addison's getting, if he was the primary target, he could get the exact same thing. I'm not
1,210, but like
right.
also if you don't got like a main guy, you can be a lot more balanced. Like the Vikings, they have a decent offensive line. Just run the damn ball. Like you don't gotta throw it
Every
50
once in
times
a
a
while.
game. You can just run the football. I promise it's not gonna hurt you. Like just run the ball.
Well, and see, and that's kind of the, as a Bills fan, I get this a lot with the whole Josh Allen thing. And I've been telling people forever, just run the ball. And people are telling me they don't have a run game. And I said, you have one. You just don't use it except for Josh Allen. And now
They started at
I'm
the
getting
back half of last year, thankfully. Like James Cook was cooking.
Yo, James Cook is dope, and
Y'all busted Dallas, and you're like, oh hey, maybe we should run the football. Like,
right, but nobody wanted to listen to me though about it.
it just took James Cook getting 200 yards and 4 touchdowns to be like, oh hey, maybe he's pretty good.
All right, so maybe he's good, maybe he's not. This, oh my goodness.
Yeah, we
Let
only
me ask you a
drafted
question. Let me ask you a question real quick. How much time you got?
I'm good on time. I ain't got work tomorrow.
Man, this is why you and me are soulmates. Do you like Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, it's like one of my favorites. It's in my top 3.
Okay. Do you like pickles?
I ain't putting them together.
Oh, wouldn't even try it.
Nah.
Uh,
I saw that Sonic thing, and I was like,
yeah, I know.
and I just was like, what in the caucasity is going on here? And kept
What in
scrolling.
the caucasity?
Yeah, and then I just
You're
kept it
weird.
moving. Like,
No, I get it though, man. I get it.
no, because my drink's supposed to be refreshing, and pickles got like salt
Yeah,
or like
but
sodium. I don't want that. I want refreshing.
no, but you're telling me, okay, so you like pickles and you like Dr. Pepper, but you're telling me that there's zero chance in the world that you would actually enjoy that? Maybe.
I mean, I would say like 1%.
Oh man, that's
I would never think to do that. Like, I'm a sane
terrible.
person sometimes. I won't do that.
Look, man. I'm partially on your side because
Like,
that
who thinks to do that?
I know it's all heathens, right? It's
Like,
all heathens.
man, I mean, I shouldn't be
But I also
surprised
think
since
it
people
might be
like to eat
good.
Tide Pods, but like, just because it's on the internet don't mean I gotta do it. Like,
Yeah, that's look, you are more than accurate on that. But I've always oh man, I like pickles. I like Dr. Pepper. I haven't had that combo yet, but it's a real thing.
like,
And I kind of want to try it, but I haven't done it yet. And I don't. The thing I don't like the most is that you were so dismissive, and but yeah, yeah, I heard you smirk like that. That's rude, man.
I mean, I'm blunt. You know that. Like, I don't know why we acting shocked. Like, if you want an opinion about something that's not sugarcoat, you just text me.
That's fair. But
Like,
just tell me you don't. Just tell. The reason why I think you don't want to try it though is because you are trying to be. I think that you're trying to be nice.
huh?
Man, I done seen you in all the chats. You ain't nice for nothing. I think you're trying to be nice for me, and I appreciate you being nice.
Man, I only roast Taylor because she get on my nerves sometimes with that Steph Curry crap.
Yo,
And it's
man.
anytime she starts like showing Grayson Allen any kind of love, because I hate Grayson Allen, I roast her.
Oh my god. Okay, I love Tater Dead too. Grayson Allen is the one person I don't wish you almost got me to say something I didn't want to do. Grayson Allen is somebody who I wish would not play basketball anymore.
Man, you just thought that you wanted him unalived, and you just made it
Yo,
nice.
I had to edit myself, bro.
I was like, I know what that means.
Yeah, I know what you know what it means.
He want him to
But
go see the Lord and
I
Savior.
also don't mean it though. Like it's just, he's
Yeah, I
kind of
mean, you just wish he would retire.
he's kind of a terrible person.
Like, I'll just never forgive him for what he did to Caruso.
Oh my god, you're alive now.
Hmm?
What the hell, bro? Now you're live?
I guess.
Like the moment we're getting ready to shut this thing off, and now you went away. Man, you're making me look bad.
How?
Because man, why? You know why.
Man, I'm a saint.
I didn't already ask you.
I ain't never roasted nobody in a chat ever.
No. I will allow you to be misinformed and misinterpreted on that, bro.
Man, I never told a lie. I just let people say what they wanted to say, and I never corrected them.
I have so many answers, but look, we all fam. I ain't gonna do that. Um, by the way, you and I had an agreement before this, so we gonna make sure that actually happens. Um,
I ain't
but
said no f bombs.
no, not so much
I was
that it
about to
was
say you
the
been beatboxing with that dang beat machine.
yeah I was beatboxing because I can't control myself. No, but it was more of a let's make this whole thing breathe. Let's make this whole thing better and reach to people that it has never reached before. And also, by the way,
Oh yeah, you wanted me to tell people about how Uncle Bob always said take a swag at something, and it was a scientific wild ass guess.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I mean, when you've been working on a lawnmower for 3 hours, that's all you can do. Like you just gotta guess. Like,
Hey man, like you and I said, man, you gotta get in where you fit in.
shoot, in
Yo,
a deer
bro,
blind trying to get some
no, I
venison.
feel you, man. Jay, look, I'm really upset that you weren't on camera with me until the last like 42 seconds of the entire thing. But I always appreciate your time, man. You've been on here with me multiple times, and it's always a good time with you, my man.
It was definitely like we was literally on the phone for like an hour and a half before this, and we're like,
We were.
oh yeah, you like, why don't we just do a podcast? Why don't we just have fun with it? Why not?
Well, that's kind of my whole thing. Is like I understand is like whenever anybody comes on with me, that is the biggest problem I run into is they're like, hey man, I've only got 30 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine. 30 minutes is good. And next thing I know, it's a 2 hour set.
Hmm.
Or sometimes like this, I'll say, yeah, man, if you got like an hour, it's good.
Hmm.
And the live is only 45 minutes, but we done talked for an hour and a half beforehand. And that's a me problem.
Shoot, it's a me problem too, because whenever I got 2 days off in a row, I just don't care. I just do whatever I want.
Yo, and that's awesome too. I also had somebody in the group. Somebody in the chat was like, "What are you watching?" I got Golden Girls going on on my TV in the back.
Man, you watching the Golden Girl?
Yeah, bro. I got Golden Girls going on in the back, bro.
Man, you gonna be the first person who ever got canceled for watching Golden Girls.
Yo, I don't own the rights to this music. I gotta do that so hard.
You should
Anyway,
have did it about 49 minutes ago.
yeah, I probably should have. You right on that one.
What's
Anyway,
crazy is I
that
didn't
was
even know there was music.
anyway, that was JD. I love you, bro. You guys have a good night. You guys know the drill. Stay up, stay blessed, and we will catch you guys on the next one. And by the next one, I mean tomorrow in about 9 hours.
Working man right there pumping out the podcast.